Okay, so today is your chapter 16, and so we're going to get into attitudes and goals again for industrial engineers and technologists. So attitudes and goals for industrial engineers. So industrial engineers and technologists, you have to learn to solve problems, and you have to learn to reduce cost. Okay, so you must work with everyone in the organization, and you must possess human relations and also interpersonal skills, because you definitely need to communicate with so many people at your work. Alright, so there is a broad range of problems in the industry today, and your degree cannot teach your interpersonal skills at all. That's you're born with it. So if you're not born with it, you will train yourself to get it. Okay, so this is one thing you will have to develop and improve your own. If you have a genetic failure, then you have to go in a different route to assist you in learning. Okay, so you can start practicing with your family members, your friends, the people in your social circle, classmates, and people at school, okay, before you enter the workforce. So these are the things what we really have to do right now when you are a student. Okay, so uh, make sure you develop yourself. Okay, and these two things, human relations and interpersonal skills, are very two important thing that is going to make or break your life, okay, or your job, or whatever you do. Okay, so make sure you build these skills, okay, from now on. So don't throw the tantrum. Okay, I see some students throwing tantrum when they don't get what they want, and you have to be able to get along with any type of people. And I see in my class some of the students don't want to get along with some other students. Okay, you can't choose the environment. Okay, unless you're very, very wealthy, and then it's up to you. If you're already rich, then you don't need school. You can have your own time. Okay, do whatever you want in your life. But if you're not, make sure we all have to work to survive. And when we work, we have to deal with people. Okay, like I say many times, doing the job is so easy, but doing the job with other people, and that's the thing you have to learn how to do it. Okay, all right, next one. Okay, attitudes and goals. So this chapter, we're gonna go over attitudes and goals to achieve everything we're expected of in our job. So to achieve anything, we definitely need goals, because without the goals, you will have trouble to direct yourself, okay, um, to achieve something. So to achieve goals, we need to have the right attitudes, okay? So you must control your attitudes, and you will achieve all your goals. They're all connected to each other, okay? So therefore, make sure you set your goals, where you want to go, what you want to do, and you try that by starting from your daily goals, okay? And then your weekly goals, your monthly goals, and then your yearly goals, and then go 5, 10, 15 years goals like that for your personal life. And then for your job, it's the same thing, your daily goal, your weekly goal, and then your monthly goal, okay? And for jobs, we don't really go into the yearly. So for job, it's your day, your month, and then your year, okay? And we usually actually concentrate on every 4 months, okay? So with the quadrant that we do, so 4 quadrants in a year, so that's how your goals and objectives are set at work, most of the work. Okay, so we're going to get into attitudes. And when we say attitudes, we're talking about the industrial engineer or a technologist. Okay, we're not talking about us for outside world. Okay, so the very first attitude you have to adopt, okay, when you start to work in the industry is I can reduce the cost of any job. The number one attitude in the industry that we want you to have. I can eliminate the unnecessary. You have to do this, okay, especially in the lean environment. I will eliminate muda. Muda is nothing but any cost that does not add any kind of value to our product got to be found and eliminated. I can combine jobs and eliminate movement, storage, delays, and some handling time. So these are the attitudes you have to adopt, okay, immediately as soon as you start work. I can change the sequence of work elements to create a more efficient job, operation, or plant. If I can't take the first three steps, I can always simplify the job by moving items closer, downgrading work elements, okay, to produce more work in less time with less effort. So there's always a better way to do any kind of job, and your job is to find that better way, and you want to do that continuously, okay? Okay, so the next attitude is you will have to adopt cost is number one attitude, and that's the most important consideration. So cost consciousness is one of the most important attributes of a manager. And also industrial engineering is a perfect training ground, okay, for production management. So an engineer or a manager who does not know the economic consequences of decision is totally worthless to the industry, okay? And if you become a manager, you will be monitored, okay, especially for your cost reduction and cost effectiveness. And if you can be able to manage that, if you cannot be able to do that, you are in danger, yeah? So therefore, we develop an attitude that cost is a deciding factor. Okay, be cost conscious doesn't mean, hey, be stingy, not like that. Okay, we're not asking you to be frugal. We're asking you to be efficient, controlling the cost. Okay, and to again, you don't eliminate everything. You're gonna eliminate only the non-value added processes and operations. Okay, and that needs some skills and calculations and study to be able to effectively do that. Okay. Okay, so deciding factors again on cost idea, okay, that will reduce the total cost. We will consider the savings, we will consider the return on investment, expense, and also investment. So you can't judge by how you feel about it or what you think it is. Okay, you have to study, take the data, take the information, and you're going to calculate all of these factors, okay? And then you're going to make the decision, and you got to do that. Okay, and if people can tell if a manager is making the decision by feeling it or by his own thinking, okay, you can hide these things. You can hide it for a temporary time, but not a long time, okay? So truth works like that in nature. So the truth is everything that you do can be hidden, okay, or temporarily, okay, just for a while. It will come out by itself, okay. We call it truth can never be destroyed because truth is kind of like an energy, okay, things that you do in your life. They always stay with you, your action, your behavior, okay, your decisions, your performance, everything is, it's kind of like imprinted in nature, so therefore you can get rid of them. You can never get rid of or destroy the truth. It's always there, okay? You can hide it, and temporarily for a while you can cover it, okay? You can conspire around it, but you cannot destroy it, and it's always take time, okay, for the truth to appear. So therefore, another attitude is you have to be deadly honest. in what you do. Okay, you can hurt other people's feeling by being honest, but you have to be honest, so that way you can make a better decision. Okay. All right, the next attitude, continue. Cost is number one. So savings, that's your return, is from your labor and then time standards created before and after motion and time studies. So the investment cost is the total cost of implementing the methods improvement. Okay, so machine installation, tools, utility requirement, changes, etc. So the best method improvements are those that reduce cost with no investment at all. Okay, so the next attitude you need is growth gives meaning and purpose to life. So industry is getting more complicated every day, okay, and it's not only national or local anymore, it's international. So an industrial engineer must keep up with the growth of his or her profession, okay, in the industry. So become a member of a professional society. So here at school, we're giving opportunity for you to join ATMAE, which is ATMAE. Okay, you can call ATMAE or you can call ATMAE. It's the same thing. So that's it's a kind of a group that or organization. You can say that. Okay, that all industrial engineering technology or industrial technologies belong to. So make sure you join one of the organization or society. Attend its annual conferences. So that's how you start your networking. Okay, and read in the monthly publications. Okay, and that's how you grow your profession. So never stop learning. Even if you finish your school, you have to continue. Okay, your education. And when starting a new job, you will learn faster and more than ever before. So you must learn the company's product, people, systems, and procedures just like you do learning at school. This is what you're going to be learning over there at your work. Okay, so never ever stop learning, never ever stop educating yourself. And education is not limited to school. Okay, it is limited to your life. So as long as you live, as long as you're working, you're gonna keep on learning. Okay, whatever environment you're going to be in. And like I say many times, you have to keep your brain working. If you stop the brain, they're made of proteins, and everything that doesn't move is not going to work. Okay? Your body, the same thing, you have to exercise it. Your mind and your brain, your nervous system, you have to think, okay, study, so, or listen to music, play the music. So that's how you exercise your mind and your brain. And they're all physical, by the way, these very small things. So again, never stop learning. So learn as much as you can about your new company and don't stop it. Okay? Okay, problems. So this is another attitude you have to adopt. Problems are opportunities, because without them, we would not have a job. So problem solving is your job. Okay, you must adopt a proper attitude towards problems. So problem solving is how you grow professionally. The more problem a person can solve, the more management depends on that person, okay, to solve more and bigger problems. So if you cannot be able to solve the problem, your job is going to be little, okay? Like the President of the United States got to solve incredible amount of problems, and he got to delegate his responsibility to so many different agencies, government agencies. So that's how we solve the problems, okay? So everything is on his head. And go down in the hierarchy, and you have your part, your little part at your company. Okay, so you also have to solve the problem that you face at your work. So right now at school, the same thing. You have to solve the problem at school. How are you going to finish the assignment? Okay, how are you going to do these things? And how can you complete all of that in a limited amount of time? Because one semester time is a very short time. You have less than three and a half months, okay? And you have to put about 4 or 5 or 6 subjects you are undertaking. And they all comes with all kinds of assignments and making you crazy. Anyway, so you have to learn, and that is your problem, your current problem right now, and you have to solve it. Okay, you have to solve it well, and your result is showing on your grades. Yeah. So big problems are the biggest opportunities, okay, to show the top management what you can do. So some people hate and avoid the problems. So if they cannot avoid them, they are incapacitated by them because they don't know how to do it. So they only finish up with the routine task, okay, not entering top management positions. There's a top management position, supervisory position, people who gotta control many people under them, okay, to take the responsibility for them, cannot do the routine task, okay, they have to be very creative. They have to be able to know how to put out the fires, okay, means of problems, how to solve the problems, day-to-day problems, okay, and whatever that come up in surprise, you also have to solve. Okay, so therefore learn to love the problems when they occur, and then because they will give you opportunity. Okay, so don't see the problem like a burden. Okay, you have to take them as you, oh, this is my chance, okay, to do my work, and then to do your best work from your knowledge, do it. Also, you use your intelligence, okay, your wisdom, same thing, okay, and that is going to be solving the problem is always more than your skilled routine work. Okay, the more you solve the problem, you will be developing that problem solving skill as well. Yeah, so in the work description, you will come across skills, and one of them is communication, and the second one is problem solving skills. Okay, communication is we're not talking about language. Okay, not the language, is communicating your ideas and communicating other people's ideas and what they want to do, and those type of communications we're talking about clarity. Okay, and definitely not the language that we're speaking at all. Okay, it's communication, not the language. And even though you can speak your native language so well, if you don't know how to communicate, meaning if you don't know how to drive somebody do the work, your communication will fail. Okay, so we're also, if you cannot move a management group, okay, to pull the investment in what you want to do, and that kind of communication will also fail. So we're talking about those kind of communications. So do not confuse with how fast and well you speak with your native language. We're not talking about that kind of communication. So anyways, eventually you will find that no problem will be too big. Okay, so if you have a problem, solve it. Solve it again, and again. And later on, you're too okay with solving problems, and you won't be afraid of them anymore. Yeah. All right, the next attitude, I walk at 125%. So that's 25% more than 100%. And I work at 110%. Okay. So productivity and improvement and a proper work ethics are two attitudes industrial engineers and managers must always have. So walking at 125% demonstrate what you expect of yourself. Okay, this is just an idiom. And working 10% more than your competition isn't asking much of yourself, and you will win any race. Okay, you only have to do 10 more percent of your job. Okay, day to day, and you will see the difference. Do not work 90% or 80%, that you will be going in a different direction. Okay, so walking fast is a good way to project your sense of urgency, the same as that. Okay, your attitude toward your work ethics is also going to be enhanced. Okay, so this is just trying to tell you, give a little bit more at your work. Okay, so you will win any race. Okay, the next attitude, anything done the same way more than a year is obsolete, is nothing but outdated. Okay, so change is a tough job, but it must be done, and you have to change continuously because, like I say many times, the environment is never the same. Okay, environment is always changing, and you have to adapt yourself according to it. So every time you have a chance to promote change, do it. Okay, a company is in competition with other companies around the world, and that's true for everything in the world. Okay, businesses. And if it becomes satisfied with present methods, it will definitely lose. Okay, the competitive fight for its life, and your business will go down. So the company must become better and better every day. Okay, or it starts to die without change. Okay, so therefore you always have to look out for change and see how you can improve or change the current methods. The next attitude, the person doing the job knows more about it than I do. Okay, so the opposite view is wrong. You don't know more than the operator. You don't know more than the person who is doing a particular job. So make sure you give credit to these people. And we cannot know everything about a job than someone working on it, because they are working on it every day, every week, every month. Okay, so they definitely know better than you are. So the person assigned to the job has worked on it 8 hours a day, week after week, and have a wealth of information, and this is what you want from them. Okay, so therefore you have to get along with them in order for you to be able to receive this. Okay, they have it. So talking to and asking for operators' opinion, okay, is gonna show them that you respect them, and we all want to be respected. Okay, everybody in the world want to be respected, so you make sure you show that respect to them. Employees are trained to share their ideas, okay, especially for cost reduction attitudes and the techniques. So in order for us to be able to get the information, okay, that we need for our management part, you have to get along with your employees, okay, and make sure encourage them to share what they know, okay, because they know more than you do. Alright, the next attitude is the best ideas are developed in groups. There isn't anything in the world that you can do by yourself alone. Okay, even though your assignment is by yourself, you still have the environment, which is your school, supporting for your assignment to be done on time. Okay, so I'm working 75% of your work actually, and you're doing only 25% of the work. Okay, so everything you're getting ready-made, okay, by the professors. So you're not actually doing the assignment alone, you're doing the assignment with the professors. So make sure you develop, okay, learning and doing work with groups, with people. Never ever think like you're doing the job alone. Okay, so one person cannot know as much as two. Two is better than one. So if people talk to each other, there's no limit, okay, to what can be done. And this is called synergism. Okay, that's just a term. So back and forth sharing of ideas leads to better solution than any one of us could have produced. So some people feel bad about sharing ideas because they always feel like somebody is taking their ideas and they never get credited. And I do not feel like that, because the success of the company is the success of you as well. Okay, and you might get into unfortunate situations sometimes, like people might take your ideas and kick you out of your job. Okay, those kind of things can happen. And again, in order to solve those kind of problems is totally depends on the interpersonal skills you have. But if you do bump into the evil person or toxic person, okay, or very bad person, um and we don't have a choice. Okay, you just have to back down and try to make the best out of those kind of difficult situation. Okay, because bad people, evil people, and the toxic people, they don't know what they're doing. If they know, okay, if they knew what they're doing, they wouldn't be doing that to anybody. So I think it's also genetically impaired. So therefore they cannot reason their own actions, okay, that harm other people. So if you do bump into those kind of unfortunate things, I've already taught you what to do is to not to fight back. Okay, fighting back is gonna cause you more harm to your life. Okay, and you just have to make the change. So you're going to use a change attitude to solve those kind of difficult problems, and also have faith. Okay, this is one thing and one time you have to keep faith to our maker God. Okay, any religion you are in, make sure you stay with that, so it will help you to go through those kind of difficult times. Okay, in life. Don't get shocked at it. Don't feel bad about it. Don't go depressed on it. Okay, you have to let it go and then move on. Okay, and that kind of transition or switch is so important for your success. The teamwork is for today's world, which is more complicated. That working alone, okay, cannot handle it because a lot of the projects are pretty big and we all have to do our own part. Okay, and if you want to do it alone, your project is going to be pretty small. Even if you do it alone, you still need your assistants, okay, to be able to accomplish those kind of jobs. All right, so next attitude is education is part of my job. So motion consciousness, cost consciousness are two areas of expertise. Okay, we can share with others in our industry. So if we teach people what we are doing, they can use these techniques and give us ideas to review. And you can also offload your work that way. So we can respond with feedback to improve their ideas even better. Okay. So it's kind of like we are making the ideas better and better. Okay, by teaching other people, taking their ideas, feedback, their ideas, or thinking about their ideas, how to improve them. So that way, we can have lots of ideas, okay, that you cannot be able to think by yourself alone. So the more we share, the better for the company, the better for the employees, and it is better for you, okay, as well. All right, the next attitude is I will be open and honest with everyone. So you must disagree with people, but don't be disagreeable. Okay, you can be friendly and disagree. You can be diplomatic and disagree, but you always have to be honest. Okay, be an honest person. Help them whatever you can. Okay, if you don't want to help, be diplomatic about it. But if you can help, make sure you help whatever you can. Because the more you do that, the more people remember you. Okay, if you're always out of the picture, then you will always be out of the picture. People will not remember you. So make sure you get involved and make sure you approach with honesty. All my standards and goals are attainable. So be confident in your standards that you form. So if you do not believe in them, nobody else is going to believe in your work. Okay, so you gotta respect your own work and you have to believe in your own idea to make it happen. So involve the employees in forming their time standards. So you gotta put them in to create the time standards for them. So all your standards and goals, okay, they got to be attainable. If you have a very big goal, a very high standard, and you cannot make that happen, it's gonna cause you trouble. Okay, so don't make trouble of your own. So make sure your standards is achievable and your goals are attainable. Okay, so that's your again another skill. Alright, so the next one is I will be patient and understanding toward people. So that's your next attitude. understanding people is the hardest thing for you to be able to do, okay, at work. So motion and time study has a history of antagonism, okay, especially from the production employees. They don't want to do, especially they feel bad, okay, when every time a new employee come in above them and in supervisory positions, because they lack the education and you have it. But then they do not respect you because you lack the experience. So you have to earn that respect from your employees, okay, by studying, okay, you have to study by using intelligence. You come to school to develop that intelligence, wisdom, okay, and these things, uh, some employees they have it, and some employees they don't have it. So some of the employees are trapped in that position because of their life disadvantages. Okay, they can't be able to go to school, or they have no money, or they don't have other kind of support, okay, to make that happen, or they're trapped in a bad family situation. So etc. etc. And you have to try to understand each person in their situation. Okay, so understand again, if they're resistant to you, you want to understand their negativity, okay, and their negativity is never personal, okay, never personal or directed towards you. You may be there and they have their own stress, okay, day-to-day stress is pretty big. They also have stress from their life, okay, so the stress from life is also another gigantic, okay, stress they're carrying inside of them. At the same time they have to work. So make sure you understand that and don't go and headbutt with them, okay? Meaning like, do not conflict, do not start the conflict with them. If there is a conflict, what your job is to alleviate the conflict, okay? Not to escalate them. So some of the bad managers, they escalate the conflicts. Okay, there are bad people like that, who they're always listening to the weakness of other people, and every time they get a chance, okay, they point that weakness out or use that weakness against you. So those are the bad people, and they don't even know they're bad, by the way. And you cannot be able to identify them right away. Okay, it takes time, again, for a person, the true character to appear. It depends on the repeated action of them or behavior, repeated behavior. And the more you work, you're going to start to see the patterns, okay, of the people, how they behave. So anyway, that's another job as a manager or supervisor, because you will always have a certain number of employees under you to control. Okay? So go with your intelligence, wisdom, and your skills. Okay, so you will do better working with the people than your predecessor if you try to understand your employee, okay, in their own situation. So you can't just go with just one standard or rule, okay, against a group of people. You have to apply understanding, compassion, okay, to each person in their own situation. And you can do that by communicating with them, okay. They will guard themselves. They will put their guard on. They won't open up to you right away. And you have to open them up by communicating with them. Okay, if they feel not intimidated, they will open up to you. Okay, so make sure you enhance or develop these skills you need to go into the workforce and be a good manager, not a bad manager who is going to use the weakness and try to get rid of all the people you don't like. Okay, don't do that. Some managers do that, by the way. It's no good. Okay, so the next attitude. So if they don't like me, they don't know me. Okay, if they don't like me, so don't go and attack them, okay, or try to get rid of them. Don't do that. That's a bad management. Okay, so we cannot get a group of people to know and like us. You don't know what other people is thinking about you. Okay, they may like you, they may not like you, they may be cursing at you. You have no idea what's going on in their mind, and don't try to know. Okay, don't try to know that. It's just a waste of time. So What you have to do is approach them, okay? And we can work on, again, one at a time, okay? One at a time in the group of people. So if you have proper attitude toward people, and if you do your job, again, professionally, and if you do your job, again, honestly, people will eventually like you. Except the bad, the evil, and the toxic, okay? Regular person, meaning neutral, and good people, pretty easy to manage. But the bad, the evil, and the toxic people, very difficult to manage, okay? They might even assassinate you, by the way. So there are people like that. So that's why we have shootings in the country, okay? And they look like pretty normal. They hold it inside, and you know them for many years, and all of a sudden, bang, okay, you're just shocked of their action. So those are toxic, again, evil, and bad. Because you can't predict what kind of action they're gonna bring, okay, to work. So you also have to guard yourself that those kind of people exist around you, okay? So people must know you as a friendly and a happy person. So this is the ideal, okay, behavior we want from everybody at work, at school, okay, and so make sure that you also adopt this kind of attitude and give it to everybody, okay, your friendliness and your happiness. All right, the next attitude is no one wants to know how good you are, and I told you again and again, interview is about them, not about you. And everybody want to hear how good they are, and you have to praise them. So like school, okay, school teachers are we're nothing, okay. You are the center stage, you are the actors, you are the actresses, okay. You are the person who is more important than the department, more important than the professors, okay, because you have to make the future. We are the past, okay? We are transferring our knowledge into your hand, and you have to take it to do your job, to transfer it to the next generation. So if you're taking the knowledge in the wrong way, you will be transferring the wrong knowledge, okay? It's not going to be good for the next future generation. So you have to do your responsibility as a scholar. The same thing apply to your job. So no conversation with employees or supervisor should be directed toward them, okay? Not you. It's always about other person, and you always come last, and those kind of managers are the best manager in the whole world, okay? So you will be considered wise and all-knowing when you listen to and when you applaud other people's accomplishments, okay? Your accomplishment is depend on other people's accomplishment, okay? So therefore you do your best to support other people, okay. By doing that, you are raising yourself, okay. It's pretty important. Most of us have ego, okay. So therefore we try to do our best to get our name, to get our credits. But the world, to be successful in the world, it doesn't work like that. It works the opposite, okay. So make sure you understand that fact. Alright, next one. So successful people do what other people dislike to do. Most of the people are lazy. Okay, they just want to do the least amount of work, and they don't want to do anything more than that. Successful people, they work hard. They know that there is no easy way. They collect the data before making decisions. Therefore, their decisions are always near perfect. Okay, because the decision made on the real data, real world data is the best one. So ask for help, and also they take advice. They never stay alone by themselves. They're always talking to other people, okay? And also they work real hard. So don't be afraid to work hard. Your assignment is your practice before you go into your workforce, okay? How hard you work is showing very obviously on your assignment, okay? Preparation. Some people prepare in details. Some people throw some crab and apples right there, okay? I don't even know what that is. So anyway, so make sure you do your work seriously. You can do that, okay? You can do that. You're more powerful than you can ever imagine. Okay, you have all the abilities, trust me, in your genes. And they work long hours. They're not afraid of working. Okay, they're gonna just do it, make it happen until that happened. And they don't care about salary. They don't care about hour. Okay, even if the employee say, hey, I'm not gonna pay you overtime, go back home. They're gonna continue to work. They're gonna say, never mind, you can cut the hour right here. I'm gonna finish my job. Those kind of people are successful. Okay, and they get involved. Again, communication. They take criticism. If somebody says something bad, they're gonna listen. Again, do not react. Okay, just listen to them. Oh, somebody is saying this. Okay, oh, that's how I appear in the world. Let me think about it. What did I do? Okay, and then they constructively criticize others. They also judge other people all the time. Okay, and but they're successful because when they criticize other people, they do it so in a very diplomatic way. Okay, very skillful at that. And if you criticize other people or judge other people, and you take it out with all the spikes, okay, and all kinds of attack, then nobody's gonna like you. So make sure how you do your criticism in the right way. Put it gently, okay. They can be aggressive. Aggressive meaning like have passion and make sure that their job is done, okay. And you can see it in their work very, very distinctly. That's why we say outstanding or distinction, okay? Because the work is very distinct. It's not the same as the average work, okay? All right, the next attitude is I will not wait on others to deliver the goods. Meaning like you're controlling everything. You cannot just ask for or order something and then sit back and wait. You don't do that. Okay, normally, what do? Most of us, if you ever order something from Amazon, you're always checking when it's going to come to you, right? And that's good. So you must follow up continually until you get what you need. The same thing for the job. Okay, you can just tell somebody to go ahead and do it and wait for it. You want to tell somebody go ahead and do it, and then you're going to check. Just like us, the professor got to check the student work all the time. Even if we tell you go ahead and do the assignment, you don't. Okay, some of you don't because you have this and that and that and this excuses, so you can finish it on time. So we always have to check it. Okay, so that kind of follow up is necessary in your job. So you can never blame others for not performing. Okay, at school the same thing. So all the professors and the teachers, instructors, we cannot blame you for you not doing the work. Okay, so because it's very childish to do it, if you're not doing the work, we have to think about how to make you do the work. Okay, so that's the next step. The same thing at your work. If your employees, your operators, okay, your subordinates is not doing their work, you have to do the follow up. Okay, you have to think how to make that person perform. Okay, one way or the other. You want to go with a nice way, you're going to go with a disciplinary action, and you're going to go with a serious and aggressive way. Okay, so that's how you choose depending on the person you're dealing with. But you will never, ever, ever blame that person for not doing their work. Okay, you will correct them, you will give them a plan, you will give them advice, recommendations, but do not blame. All right, next attitude. I will confirm my instructions by asking questions. So make sure you understand what is being asked of you by your supervisor at work. So if you don't understand your instruction to do the job or to complete the daily activity or your monthly schedules or yearly goals, you want to ask. Okay, ask immediately, immediately. And ask, is this what you want? And you're going to do it politely. You're going to do it with care. You're going to do it with diplomacy. Okay? So interpersonal skills again. And put it in your own words. Okay? The instruction from your boss, you're going to write it down on your own words in the way you understand it. So why do we have to do it? Is we don't speak the same language. Okay? We don't speak with the same tone and we don't write the same way either. So the one person's instruction is not going to get to you. So what you have to do, you're going to use the scholarship again. You're going to paraphrase the instruction in your own words, okay? And you're practicing at school again and again. We give you assignment, reading assignment, research assignment, discussion assignment, and you're going to write it back. You do not copy and paste it, okay? You're going to read it and write it back in your own words, That's the easiest way to put it into your own head, okay? You can put someone else's word into your head is pretty difficult. So if you make it in your own tongue, okay, and your tone, the way you speak, you will get it faster. Yeah. So then result is going to be very apparent. Yeah. Okay, I will complete everything I start is your next attitude. So don't leave the task half done. Do not discriminate task. Okay, do it in the order you receive. Do not procrastinate. Do not put it off. Okay, don't do that. So use a checklist. Okay, to mark off completed task. Then go over your priorities again in a list, and then do it one by one in order that you need to be doing. Okay. For schoolwork, the same thing. You're gonna put all of your assignments. Okay, use a note. Okay, I use a notebook. I have always a notebook for school, a notebook for work, a notebook for home. Okay, whatever your parents tell you to do this chore, do that, this, or write that down. A notebook for your life, whatever you have to do, your bills, okay, your grocery shopping, okay, your survival, whatever, okay, activity, you're gonna write that down in your home, okay, notebook. For school, your assignments, whatever you have to complete, you're gonna write that down, okay. You can also do it in your PC, okay, if you don't wanna carry a notebook around. Again, don't give up, okay, there's always an answer. So you're gonna complete everything you started. Okay, if you don't want to do it, don't even start it. It's just a waste of time. But if you have started it and you're determined to do something, complete it. Yeah. So the next attitude is always say nothing as fact unless I can back it up. Meaning like you have to have evidence uh, to if you want to state something with facts. Okay, so opinions must be stated only as opinions, not as facts. Facts are something that is true. Opinions are something that you think. They're not the same. Okay, so if you state facts, you have to have a backup. Okay, your backup is your evidence. Okay, like the detective, if you wanna, state something, and somebody did something wrong or something, you can't just go and say, hey, you did this wrong because I think you did it. You can't say that, okay? Because this is my instinct, that's my gut feeling. You can't do that. If you're gonna go and challenge somebody, you have to have enough information about that person with evidence, okay? So that's how you approach facts. The next attitude, I will never forget who I am working for. So in America, it's so important. You have to know your boss is your boss, and you have to give the credit of the boss to the boss, okay? And then never let the boss understand you don't respect him or her. So the boss may not always be right, okay? They're all human, they're not perfect. As you know, the change is happening all the time, okay, in the environment, in yourself. So everybody is stressed out. So therefore, when we make the decision, even if we try all our best, okay, sometimes we cannot be perfect. We cannot be always right. Okay, there will be weakness and loose points. Okay, so do not hold your boss as a perfect and throw tantrum against that person. Don't do that. Okay, he is your boss, and he must be respected. You will never win by fighting with your boss. Okay, so just listen to the instruction. If you're not clear, talk with the instruction, or talk to your boss. Okay, bring up your standpoints and then communicate. and negotiate. Okay, negotiation is so important. So keep your boss informed what you're doing and let him know you know who the boss is. Okay, you are not the boss. So make sure you don't go over him. Yeah, bosses always listen. They're always listening to you, listening to everybody. Okay, so they listen. So if you've been a good supporter, okay, they will ask you to join them. And this is how you get promotion, and this is how you go up. So it depends on how much you respect your boss and how much you can understand the person, how much you can forgive the person when they make the mistake. If the boss make the mistake, then you go and point that out and say, okay, things about him in the work that is detrimental to his job. Nobody is going to like you and you will be eliminated immediately. Okay, with some magical reason, and you don't want to be in that situation. Okay, the next attitude, never take yourself too seriously. So make sure you smile, make sure you be friendly, okay? Make sure you have some fun, okay? If you are in school, schoolwork is not your only work. You have to develop your social skills with your friends, with events, organizations, etc., etc. Okay, sorority, fraternity, you have to join all these things to balance your life. Okay, then make sure a person is as happy as he or she wants to be. So if you want to be happy, you will be happy. So learn to be happy and stay happy because it's a very long life. You have to live at least, like, let's say if we live all the way to 100 years, that's a lot of years to live. So you don't want to pass, okay, that time with sadness and unhappiness and grief and depression and all bad things. Okay, so try to live your day as your last day and try to be happy and try to stay happy regardless of your problems. Okay, if you have problems, face it, understand what that is, and let it go. Okay, yesterday is finished. You have already learned everything about it. You stay today, and then you're gonna look forward to having tomorrow. Yeah, so that's how you go in life. Okay, the next attitude, I will look and act professional. So if you become a manager or supervisor, okay, you have to be clean, neat. You have to have some sort of a business attire, shoes. Okay, doesn't need to be so shiny, or doesn't need to be wearing like a celebrity. Okay, just a reasonable one is all right. In clean language, you can't use a profanity. You can curse them. You can say all kinds of bad words. Okay, we don't do that anymore. So don't make it a habit. Okay, you're not talking to your friends. You're talking to your colleagues. Your colleagues are not your friends. Okay, they may be friendly to you. They're not your friends. Your professor, they are not your friends. Okay, they may be friendly to you. Again, they are not your friends. Your operators, they're not your friends. They may be friendly to you, but they are your operators. Okay, so make sure where you stand. You know where you stand. Okay, so you must compose yourself, and also you must stay alert, but also you have to stay very reserved. Okay, hold your emotion, hold your tongue. Okay, goals. So after we finish attitudes, we're going to take a look at the goals again from the industrial engineer or industrial technologist point of view. So one must set great goals to achieve great things. So to achieve your goals, you must write them down and commit to them. Okay, if your goals are not written down, you have no goals. So if you don't have goals, make sure you make it. Okay, I'm going to give you an assignment to form the goals. We can do based on your scholarship, okay, or your family. So I'm going to think about what to assign you. All right, so the personal goals must be in line with professional goals. So professional goals must be again in line with the company goals. Okay, your professional goals shouldn't be way out of your company goals, okay? Or you won't be successful. So if you're working at a company, you have to understand the company mission, vision, okay? And the goals, the objectives. And then you're going to align it with your professional goal because your profession is based on that company, right? Goal must be reviewed periodically because again, change is always there. So your goals also change depends on your change in the company. So you must be aware of all the changes that are happening in your company to accommodate your goals. Okay, so make sure you check the progress of your goal if you are already working towards that. So here are some goals for the motion. This is an example in our time study department. Okay, to set fair and equitable time standards for the company. So that's the goal. To have full-time standard coverage, another goal. To promote productivity, another goal, motion and time study. So your percent performance, remember, your earned hours divided by actual hours. And then to develop motion economy, very important, and cost consciousness in all employees, both labor and management. To develop time standards for indirect labor. We already know what the indirect labor is. Well, there's an assignment to do it, but don't forget to do that. Also to develop standard data. Okay, so these are all the examples of goal in motion and time study. Okay, continue. So to teach employees, supervisors, techniques of motion and time study, to keep up with the developments in the field by attending conferences, subscribing to journals, to prepare technologies for supervisory positions, to expand continually our knowledge of our company's technology, and to become the expert in manufacturing methods, machines, techniques, and time standards. Okay, to be ready to serve whenever asked, and to be ready with the answer in our area of expertise. Okay, so these are the examples of the goals. Alright, so that's it for chapter 16, and this is our last chapter. So your job is to finish up all the assignments, and I'm going to reopen all the assignments again in our review period of 2 weeks, okay, at the end of November, and you will complete everything that you missed. So that's your final chance before December 1, before the classes end. And you're going to study chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for your final. You're going to study your lab packages for your lab final project, okay? So those are the things that you have to do, and make sure you put them as your goals to complete this semester and learn from this technique, okay, from chapter 16, and apply it on your schoolwork, okay? Practice now, so you will be ready when you go into your workforce. Alright, that's it for today.